Hi and welcome back to Warframe. Today we're going to have a look at the Burston Prime again. It was a bit of a pain to get because the stock didn't drop for us for the longest of times, but got it done. Actually leveled the weapon up twice that same day because it was me and somebody else went a bit nuts with it, decided to drop a forma in it, and actually came out to be a decent weapon in the end. As you can see, impact damage, puncture damage, both 11, that's pretty low. Slash, same, that's low. Fire rate, pretty high. The crit doesn't exist. The status isn't that bad at 15. The magazine's pretty nice. Burst fire, it doesn't look that bad to begin with. And it actually turns out to be a pretty nice weapon. I just personally think this big gold thing sticking off the end was unnecessary. It's just there purely for looks and it doesn't look right. There's too much gold on some of these prime weapons. It's gold along the top, gold along the bottom, nothing in the middle. Just looks weird. So we did manage to get a hell of a lot of damage onto this. The slash damage went up a hell of a lot. Puncture's the same. Impact's even gone up a hell of a lot from it being 11 before. It's now 93. We've added the blast element, mainly because the clip magazine wildfire mod adds clip capacity and fire, so I always add ice just to create blast damage. Accuracy has gone down, status has gone up, clip's gone up, but more importantly the damage has gone up a lot. The main reason for that is we have the serration mod in here, but we also have heavy caliber. Heavy caliber I haven't finished leveling up because I don't really want to lose that much more accuracy. It's kind of at that point there where it's adding enough damage to counter the loss of accuracy on certain weapons. On this one, it doesn't really change the accuracy that much when you're actually using it. So I can get away with it on this weapon. There's a lot of them I can't. Then obviously split chamber because it's a burst fire weapon. So when you pull the trigger, instead of it firing 3 rounds, you usually get a bit more. Then we added sawtooth and piercing hit for the slash damage and puncture damage. These two have actually been halved in the damage they now add, but they still only they still cost 9, and they should have been downgraded to 7s because it only adds 30% slash damage and 30% puncture damage. I could have sworn these were doing twice that. I mean, plus 30%, that's not really worth it. You may as well save your space on putting these things in nowadays. It still works, because you can see by the damage, the impact and the puncture were pretty much the same, so that mod in there has added an extra 30 rounds nearly, 30 damage. So it's literally almost 1 damage per percent. Just wish it had gone up a hell of a lot more, because if it was still a 60 it would have been more. But then obviously we're throwing in wildfire for the little bit more magazine capacity, and it added fire damage, and then we just threw an empty cryo rounds. Not a full one, as you can see, it's just an empty one because it changed the fire damage into blast damage. It actually gives more blast damage than it did fire damage. And this is basically just for, again, if you can land that headshot, you can actually knock the person over, and that comes in really useful. Okay, as you can probably see, level 20 ancients, no problem at all. Just melts away. That was half a mag. So it is pretty powerful actually. I did enjoy this weapon so much. Actually used a mission just like this to level it up, so when I seen it I thought, oh, we've got to open the door. Because the range that's actually on it, with the accuracy, the fact it's a burst fire, the added multi-shot as well means instead of just shooting 3, you're shooting a bit more. You can actually take them out before they get to you, most of the time. And that's from literally like across the room. And it was a mission like this that I actually used to level it up. I mean, that was an ancient. So not exactly the best setup available. I mean, there is probably lots of other ways to set up this weapon, but This one just seems to work the same against all kind of enemy types. If I inch it, you 2 inch it, you 3 inch it. Oh, he survived. Dare him survive. But it just works really well, and I can't explain why. It's mainly because rather than go for lots of different elemental setups, we've basically just gone for straight up damage, adding the blast damage to sometimes knock the enemy over. Though that only works a fraction of the time anyway. And I don't know why I'm putting blast on everything. But we'll leave that off here for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.